welcome back to another Music Maker guitar video. Today's video is mostly to just say thank you to all of you for helping me get this channel up to 450 subscribers. As promised, I released some new music just last night as I saw those numbers dip over there. So thank you guys for doing that and for tuning in. Please do go check out the new song, Dragon Pants. It's here on my channel. It's also on the Funk Norris channel, and it will also be on the Funk Norris Bandcamp as soon as I can get it uploaded there. It just takes me a minute to get it all in order and live and everything. So I'm going to go ahead and throw up links to all those things in the descriptions, and I'll be including those links pretty much from here on out until I start releasing another record. Anyways, it is Theory Thursday, and I did get a nice new comment on one of my older videos. What's your workout routine? What's your weekly workout routine? And I'll start with, first of all, it's not weekly, it's daily. And second of all, I always put something different because, so for a long time, and I did some lessons with Tomo, Fujita, and what he told me to always do was a blues. But for me, I'm not, I love blues, but I'm not necessarily a blues guitar player. I think for me, I come more from a jazz background. So sometimes I'll do a simple blues. And sometimes I'll do a simple standard. And sometimes I'll stretch out and try and do something new. And sometimes a big thing that I like to do, and forgive me for stepping if I'm overstepping here, but I think it's a little bit of a part of the jazz tradition to take just any music that you love and figure out a way to play it by yourself on your solo instruments. So that's something that I'm doing. So this week I have given myself an assignment. I'm not going to reveal it to you all yet, but I will play it on the channel once it's finished. And no, that's not a hint. I'm just improvising and noodling now. But that said, that's sort of a big thing for practice, is just coming up with music to play. And you can do scales and exercises to death, to the point where when you play it sounds like an exercise. And for me, I've found it more effective to just do a new piece of music every day. And try to maybe challenge yourself a little bit in some way. And if it's not the music is challenging, then you find something that's more challenging for yourself. You try and play more runs of 16th notes, or just stuff like that pushes you outside of your normal box. Because that's what really it is. Something that I always try to reinforce with any of my students is there's no music that's difficult. There's only music that is new to you that you haven't done yet. So once you do something 100 times, 1,000 times, it's kind of old and it's kind of easy. So if you can kind of take that approach with it, I think that's a really good solid way to keep it realistic and goal-oriented. And also just remember, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can take it slow, you know what I mean? You can, if you can do 1% better, you're going to sound bad the first time you do it, right? Because it's new. But if you can sound 1% better, the next day that you do it, then that's a good day. You know what I mean? You mark it down in the books. Put a check mark on today, So anyways, that's the part that always changes is, how I improvise, how I noodle. how I play. Forgive me for noodling today. I'm kind of like still practicing right now. Doing a little bit of my morning routine and just trying to phrase things, right? The comment and the question got me in like noodle mode and in practice mode. So sorry if I'm a little bit in this video. Just kind of like noodling a little bit in C Mixolydian at the moment. But that said, I do have kind of a set of things which I do. So first set is just playing notes. I always do these with a metronome. And I used to practice for speed and try and push my metronome tempo all the time. But Bob Palmieri told me this a long time ago, and I've found it to be really true. That what's a lot harder than trying to play fast is to try to play at a slow tempo, subdivided. So I don't know if you can see that. But I have my metronome at 30 beats per minute. It's really slow. And what I try to do is subdivide that. So that's 2 and 4. Right? And then I'll just play different rhythms. Start with quarter notes. 2, 3, 4. Sorry, my count was off. Then I'll do 8th. Triplets. 16th. Quintuplets. Sextuplet. And backwards. Right? Just kind of going through those different rhythms of them. Then I'll do the same thing. So I do and that's just up and down. So I'm playing like 1, 2, 3, 4. Then I just move my finger up a fret. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I might do a different finger pattern like 1, 4, 2, 3. I might do like 1, 3, 2, 4. You know, like there's all kinds of different ones that I might kind of play around with. But that's it. 1, 2, 3, 4 is pretty standard for like a warm-up day. And then I also do this one. Now I tell people to start at fret 7 on these. Because your frets are a little closer spaced together. It's easier for most of my students. But for this video, I'll show you what I do, which is I start down at fret 1. Frets are larger. And a lot of the time I'll do this on an acoustic guitar or something. But today I'm on the PRS because I got some gigs coming up and I'm going to play them on the PRS. So, you know, it is what it is. Practice on your gig guitar, right? Anyways, so the exercise is like doing 1 on the 6th string, and then 3 on the 5th, and then 2 on the 6th again, and then 4 on the 5th, and then 3 on the 6th, and then 1, and then 4, and then 2. It's kind of like the same thing backwards. Like I'm doing 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I'm also doing, right? So like this. Then I move that up and down the strings. I play it 3 ways. Let me get on time again. Timing sucks today. That's okay. Then I do backwards. So I'm doing same thing, just backwards. So 2, 4, 1, 3, 4, 2, 3, 1. Right? I'm sorry, back on time. Ooh. And the timing is part of it, so mine is whack today. Anyways, that said, I do that, right? Forwards, backwards, and then I play it 3 ways. So that's number 1. Number 2 is both notes at the same time, right? Let's get that time right. 3, 4. I also try to be really legato, which means all the notes really flowing into each other instead of like staccato like that. That's wrong. It's a little more difficult because you have to hold everything. The final way is moving up and down the neck, or sorry, up and down the strings. So I'm doing. So I'm moving down the string. So here, then I'm here. So I'm moving my high notes down lower. Oh, I'm playing it wrong. Oof. Right? So all the way up, all the way down. It's a little more difficult on that last one, but that's what it is. Then the last thing that I do is counterpoint exercise. This one's very, very tricky. So not for the faint of heart. If you want to get started on this, I have a video for that. So, check that out. Actually, best way, go on my website, musicmakerlessons.com. I have a bunch of this. It's basically the data that's on there, and you can subscribe. $6.95 gets you like all of the data. That's like all the scales, all the practice techniques, like a lot of that stuff. And then there's even some soloing techniques and improv tools and stuff like that there too. So I would recommend, check that out. But that said, we'll get back to it. So this one is 2 chromatic scales, same time, going opposite directions, right? So I tell people, if you want to learn this, start with like this, C, and do a chromatic scale going up. Right? And that's easy enough, right? Then also C from here. And do that going down. Then, if you feel really good about both, what you can start to do is try to play both at the same time. And I tell people to start slowly like this. But when you feel good, you can speed it up. It's really good for counterpoint. I like to improvise a lot, and what I found a couple of years ago, like a lot of my improv was missing was counterpoint. It was just contrary motion, 2 things doing the opposite thing. So I started to experiment with just like, hey, how can I make things move in different directions? And there's a lot of different ways to do this, but I found this was really effective because you could literally just pick any 2 starting notes, right? things that you can harmonize, that move independently from each other. And again, I'm just kind of like playing around now, but these little exercises where you force yourself to move in different directions, super, super helpful for just being able to feel free and doing that, and to have, just like a couple of things going on at the same time, because this is just like a really, really pretty solo instrument. Um, the more and more I try to make things that just sound good by themselves, the more and more I fall in love with trying to accomplish that mission. So, anyways, that said, real quick plug back to that new song. And just in the spirit of making guitars sound cool by themselves, something that I would love to just brag about is that this latest release, this latest tune, and all of the ones that are going to come up on this, it's not going to be a full record, it's like an EP, like a long EP. And all of these tunes that come out for this thing are going to be every sound generated by a guitar. Does that mean there won't be MIDI information? No, but that MIDI information is sampled guitars. It's sometimes stacked and sampled, sometimes manipulated with manipulated audio, etc. You know what I mean? But that said, everything that you're hearing is a guitar. All those drums, those are guitars. All those basses, those are guitars. So please do check out the tune, and I really, really do hope you enjoy. And please share it with your friends, and check out the Bandcamp links that I'm going to be leaving in the description. So, anyways, that's all for today. I'm going to go ahead and play my way out. Have a great Theory Thursday, and I'll see you tomorrow.